Hello, welcome to Tim's Chefy Tips. Now this afternoon I'm going to show you how to make apple strudel. Of course you can make the pastry, you have to go online and look at the ingredients and how to make the filo pastry. It's a little bit technical, so the easiest way is to go to the supermarket and get filo pastry. Okay, so that's the main ingredients. So what I've got here is that I've got some cooking apples and some eating apples. Then we use brown sugar, some almonds, some cinnamon ground, and a whole pack of butter for this dish. Okay, then I'm going to put some sultanas in there, and then we've got some lemon. I'm going to zest some lemon, squeeze some lemon juice into the apples. So I need to peel these, core them, and chop them up, and then we go into the next stage. The next stage is, in the saucepan here, I've got the zest of one lemon, and I've got some sultanas, and then I've peeled and decored the apple here. Then I've got some lemon juice here, I've got some cinnamon there, and some brown sugar, whatever brown sugar you prefer, and that also depends on how much you want to put in there, depending on how sweet your tooth is. So we need to bring this all together. So everything in the saucepan there. That's a teaspoonful of cinnamon, and then I'm going to put some brown sugar in there. I'm probably going to put couple of spoonfuls there, and then we're gonna put that on the fire. Now I'm not making a puree, I'm just softening it because we want the texture in the strudel. And then I'm also going to put just a little bit of water, and then we're going to put that on the fire and keep an eye on it as it softens down. Like that. Then we're on to the next part. Right, if you look here, the apples, they haven't gone to a puree, but they're just boiling and they're just beginning to soften up. So this is the stage where I want to just turn off the fire, and we need to cool that down before we start wrapping it in puff pastry. And there's also a little bit too much liquid there, so I just put it into a colander and let it drain, and then when it's cold we go on to the next stage. So the apple's cooked, I haven't popped it down, so it's all there, right? So that's apple, brown sugar, we've got lemon, we've got some sultanas there. So this is cold, so I'm just draining excess liquid there. We've got ice and sugar, which we dust it with. Then we've got unsalted butter. Okay, we've got the tray to bake it in. And then we got toasted almonds. And of course the filo sheet. Now, I've put it in a cloth because I need to roll it, and that's the best way to do it. So I've just melted the butter, so it's not too hot, and we've got it on a clean tea towel for rolling, and I've also got a board underneath. So just like that, and then I've got another sheet here which I overlap maybe about halfway along. Same process again, just make sure that your overlapping bits are well buttered. It's always best to use butter, don't go using margarine or anything like that, or even the spreadable butter, because that's got vegetable oil in that as well. And then we put that other bit. You can see how delicate the filo can be, but it's not too much of a problem. Let's get that flat, and then I do that again, and then we put the filling on it, and then we roll it up. So it's actually at this stage, it's fairly easy. So here I'm going to put our apple mixture, not right to the end, because we're going to fold the ends in. Now, as you can see, the apple mixture's got a bit of texture to it. It's not apple puree by any stretch of the imagination, and that's quite flavoursome because of these sultanas and the brown sugar and the zest of a lemon, and there was some juice of a lemon. Right, there we go. So then I've got some toasted almonds, just a few, right there, like so. So this is the interesting bit. Then I fold that bit in like that on that side. That there, just pull it over a little bit like that. Okay, and then I grease it again because it all has to stick. And we do it like that. This is fun. And now the interesting bit is as we roll it. So I bring that over nice and tidy, and then I use the cloth. Alright, let's get that nice and tight, and then we put a little bit of melted butter there. Then I use the cloth again, and we roll it over nice and tidy. A little bit of melted butter, sticks it all down nice. There you go. So it's got all the sweetness in it, it's got the brown sugar. There's no salt in the butter, so we get the unsalted butter. Roll that over. You see I'm putting extra butter on that joint there, and then we very carefully pick that up onto a roasting tray. That's like that. That should do four people. That's that. And then what I do is I actually put a little bit of ice and sugar over the top. I will do this when it's finished as well. And that has to go through the sieve like that. This is really good ice and sugar. It's natural, unrefined. So you've got to push it through the sieve. And then we pop it in the oven. So it's been in the oven for just about half an hour, depending on what your oven is. And I can smell the apples and the cinnamon and everything that's it. So here we go, look. So you very carefully cut it. Oh, look at that, look at that. Apple strudel made with filo pastry and some cooking apples and sweet apples with lemon, unsalted butter, raisins and sultanas were in there, or actually no raisins, just all sultanas. Enjoy!